It is a rare opportunity and almost a privilege to approach a vampire, to observe their most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've... Oh yeah, I've already read this. Yeah, I've read this. Okay. I was like, wait a second. This looks familiar. Oh. Oh, there you are. Okay, it's a good thing I have that vampire ability. Like, where is he?
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
Well, the symptoms were different in France. So obvious.
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I may turn London into my realm. I may turn London into my realm. No, it's too dangerous. I have thought about
I
it.
admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
That is sad. Heck yeah, we're gonna attend Mary's funeral? What? Why wouldn't we? It's like a collectible. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklore into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material. For example, we must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth and the various types of immortals based on what we know and what we gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider that vampire was a vernacular term for what we had learned to call Ekon, until the day 4 explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkods were a lupine type of vampires. We considered these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf. Ah, is that what I ran into? Ah. Now I know it is not true. What about the rest? What about Rakshasa from my homeland? What about the Chinese giant Gishi and the vision of southern Chile? And without even leaving a beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories about bat-shaped women sometimes seen flying around St. James Church in Louth? What about the creatures only identified as a disaster in some obscure testimonies which tried to destroy London in 1666 by spreading plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical figure of the restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British icons as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey and preys blood and could go unnoticed amongst the mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we could find if only we could forget for a few minutes what we're supposed to already know. Interesting. I really hope that these, like, located in these sections doesn't mean that I've missed a bunch of them. That'd stink. I want to go through your stuff. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservations concerning the Dr. Thoreau Stickland and Harvey Fiddick case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arms if not treated adequately. Dr. Stickland claims that the surgical procedure may have the man's arm completely. I say it may also severe its functions for good if complications arise. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such a procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Stickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you to forbid him to perform such a hazardous experiment. Is that the same doctor that, like, killed that last person? Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it's opened. As I have already told you, I was a doctor during the war. Oh yeah, I already read this one. Okay, let's see, bro. I'm going this way, seems like it's easier. Can I please give this plant some water?
Dying. It needs water. I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
There's another pathway over this way. Curious, curious, curious. Conveniently, I can avoid fighting those people. Very conveniently. Is that the only way across that bridge? No, there couldn't have been. It just was the most fun way to cross the bridge. Oh shoot. A level 15.
Best turn around if I were you.
Crud. Up. I sincerely hope we can handle a fight like this. Okay. There we go. Seems like we can. Oh, goody.
This is no place for a gentleman.
Uh,
Go back home, idiot.
but I have to get to the cemetery? Sir?
He's spotted. Watch your hand. Christ, he's dead.
Not a problem. Freeze, my friend. Simple enough. Thank you so much for letting me pass.
My dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
I sincerely hope that you don't have to fight anything. Apparently you do. Makes sense. Hold up. Gotta save this poor soul. Let's try this. Don't mind me. Oh, I killed that one thing. Okay, cool. Ow. Giveth me thine blood.
What do you want?
You okay, man?
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Thank you for your time, miss. Glad to be of service. That was fun. Oh, look, another one. Another group of them. Okay, shadow abilities, not happening. Oh, crap. Okay. Probably should have used it on one of the other things. Two times in a row, dude. Okay, lag. Okay, I totally clicked the button. Thank you. I feel bad for whoever's sign that was. Stone that was. My bad. Improper term. We'll just get that so it's maxed out. Thank you. What's up here? I mean, who wouldn't have guessed that there would be a bunch of vampires in the, or skulls in the cemetery?
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony. My mother would die if she were to see me in this state. I must wait.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, let's...
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
Where'd she come from? How'd you know? Oh, I guess... Swansea.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How can I? I'm learning every night. Okay,
How can I? I've destroyed my family. My poor mother. I can't even console her.
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
Thank you, my lady. I will.
Good.
sad,
But
sad.
be careful. If I found you here, others may too.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
Character development chapter. It seems. Okay, I don't mean to step on all you guys' graves, but wait a second, is this like a family cemetery? Hold up, is this where like all of the family members are buried? Ah, dude, we're some rich people, aren't we? Some high and mighty proper people here. Got to be. I don't know, blood circles. Okay, I don't see anything else discoverable. So, here we go. No supplies. Ooh, hideout. Is that a cat?
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion.
What the heck are
Shed
you?
your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Oh no.
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon.
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
What the heck? What's that mirror?
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Well,
Best be moving on.
fucking.
Best run along home, sir.
Oh, red.
Walks with me.
Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Ow. I wonder what. Oh, Reverend Blood is apparently super. Okay. This is nice.
This man stunned me with his crucifix. This is not good news.
No, not really. Freeze for a second, will you? Thank you. Okay. Thank you so very kindly. The freezing ability is super useful. It's like the only other thing that I may switch out for that is the pouncing one, but the freezing one like also gives me blood if I once I rank it up correct or enough, it'll start giving me blood points as they're frozen, and it just gives me time to heal myself or take a short breaks to make sure that I don't die. So that's nice. She looks like a vampire kind of person. Probably isn't. check out my kitty.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
I've
no need for a kind ear. Only a moment of peace in God's house.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
Just know I cared for her. Just open up, dude.
Sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She has been laid to rest. It was an accident.
It was an accident. A terrible, terrible accident.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Feel any better, dude? Jonathan Jacobo?
Whatever happened on this dock is between my
A second.
sister and
Alright.
it does not concern God at all.
Where am I going? Meet Edgar Swansea at the hospital. I have to go all the way back to the hospital. In this weather?
It's locked, all right.
Oh, go, Jimmy.
Strong, brothers!
Oh man, that thing sucks. Free. Really? You're not targeting anybody? No, you don't want to do that. Too much free. Oh crap. Skulls! Okay, out of the frying pan into the fire. Let's go. Thanks, Skulls. You guys totally saved my life. That was fun and very eventful. Okay, let's go. That was not an ideal situation, neither is this. Frick me, man. Probably. Thanks for the sweet blood. Very kind of you. I think this is not the way that I've come from. Actually, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Ah. Assholes blocking my path. Can't do much damage from there, can you? Enjoy. Okay, frame rate. Oh, I know where I am. Yes, I killed your pastor there. Totally deserved it. Come on. Game, I hate that you do this. You're so buggy with the whole combat system. Thank you. Okay, now that that's over with, I was like, man, where am I? That's that one scout, right? Level 18. I'll be able to kill it later. Right now, no.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
Oh, hi there, friend. Holy cow, you're...
Fear be gone.
You have horns.
I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Why choose me?
You selected me, chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
Okay. That was an
I've
interesting
had enough of
confrontation.
others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Well, you keep telling me that, but you have yet to give it water, have you? So, where's the water? You know, from that endeavor, I did not get nearly as much experience as I usually do. Bummer.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
Ah, yes. What's the news?
What
What's the
happened?
prognosis,
The hospital
Doctor?
has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Okay, I don't have a heart for this. I'm your only hope again.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
So if I should have killed him? If I killed him, this wouldn't have happened? Interesting.
Do you really believe they would come for us here? In such a public venue?
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Okay, yep. So if I killed him, that was what I was supposed to do, was kill him.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Disguised as a hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Well, this is nice. How you holding up?
Oh, Jonathan. I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Yes.
Can we share
And
this
I'm
meal?
afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Aw, isn't that sweet? Have you killed this woman? No, she didn't. What do you know?
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
It was huge!
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you. but rather outdoing his master's bidding.
What is
What
Ascalon?
is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Thank you, madam.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is it God's will?
Is this a sign? A hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Okay. Are you
Are
frightened?
you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Okay.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Alright, let's do what we can. Anemia. Treatment for anemia. What does this guy have? Simple fatigue. Okay, we could treat the fatigue, see if we can get that up a little bit better.
Good evening, sir.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
That's very kind of you. I have found your
I
wallet.
have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Okay, how are you doing? Let's see. Fatigue.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
As it is. Yes,
Our
sir.
job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks, anyway.
You're very well.
Goodbye.
Very well. Oh, wait, no, hold on. We will go on the voyage in the next episode of Vampyr. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to smack that like button, like somebody that just sorted your skull, because those things are supposedly nice. That's just what I've heard from my friend Jimmy. And thank you all so much for watching. Remember to stay awesome, and I will see all of your beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous faces in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh.
It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Fear no evil.